That's a good fish. For the next 2 nights, I'm going to be solo camping from the Skiff in the headwaters of a spring-fed river, hidden in the sand dunes of the Great Sandy National Park. I'll be chasing one of the most northern native strains of Australian bass in its deep, dark, tannin-stained waters. The headwaters of this system are special. There are no dams, no weirs, and the river winds untouched through 60 kilometres of national park where the bass can move throughout the system and head to the salt to breed with no obstructions. But before we pack up and get ready for 2 nights solo camping in the Skiff, we need to design a lure. Alright, we're prepping for a big send up into the headwaters. It's bass open season now. So we're going to spend 2 nights, 3 days camping out of the Skiff, and we plan to cover a lot of kilometres and try and find some very cool stuff. But first things first, we need to design a lure for the trip. We made a freshwater minnow when we first ever launched the minnows, and it was good, but it can be better. One thing that I really love about the fly community is how they're always trying to match the hatch. On the day, they can change the colours, they can change their ties, and the beautiful thing about what we do at Holt Productions is we manufacture all the stock ourselves, so I can adjust our colours on the fly too. So the plan is, I'm doing a little drive up into the headwaters now. I've got some trusty white bread from Woolies, and we're going to try and burley up some of the little freshwater minnows that hang around in these headwaters. And the plan is to scoop a couple up, see what colours they are, and try and replicate that colour into the swim minnow. So it's about 4 days until we go, which is plenty of time to play around with a few colours and pump a few out and see how they look. I want to try and replicate them as naturally as I can, but still making them look good in the water. So sometimes fish are very bland, fish and prawns are very bland, but you can take the little details and you can run with it. So that's the plan. I will try and replicate them into a lure colour as best I can. Do this 2-night send up into the headwaters and see how they work on the bass, and hopefully we can get a few numbers and get a few really good fish. Where we're heading is all national park. They're fully native bass. As far as I understand, they're one of the most northern strains of native bass. There's no dams, there's no weirs, and it's all, like I said, it's all national park. So very, very natural system. The bass have been here since bass have existed. So we're gonna head up, spend 2 nights in the Skiff, just have a good time, and try and see if we can get a few of these big native brawlers on the board. Alrighty legends, I apologise for pulling out of the video like this, but to celebrate this film and the last and biggest restock of 2025, we're releasing a brand new summer apparel range including this button-up hooded jersey, 2 t-shirts, a heap of accessories, 3 hats, 6 swim prawn, swim crab and swim minnow colours, and a brand new swim minnow colour we're featuring in this film, freshwater minnow. Everything is dropping this Friday, December 5th, 6 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. Now, let's get back into this film. All right, first spot for the camping trip. Hopefully we can find a few fish, not get blown into these trees. This wind is out of control. It won't come through on camera at all, even when I was filming the lake, but we're here. Well, we're here at the first spot. This isn't the full intention of the trip. We're here to test freshwater minnow, the new variation. So let's get a rod out and see what we can do. Let's get one of the spin rods first. All right, so this is what we're dealing with here, freshwater minnow. Great little colour. In the film, you would have already seen little snippets of it, but it's time to chuck it on a jig head for the first time and give them a good test out. We've got a weedless, snagless razor edge lures. Show you him there. That's what we're going to go with first. Basically all I've got in the boat, so I want to give it a good old work over this trip. So that's all you do there, through the nose, in through the belly, into that back rear slot we've got, and that is him there. Great little presentation for fishing structure where you can't see everything that you're fishing into. So let's not waste any time. Let's get stuck in and get our first fish. All right, it is 10 to 4 now. We'll give it 20 minutes. We'll give it to 10 past 4, and then we'll call it and we'll shoot into the fresh and start heading upriver. Looks incredibly cool in the water. See about 100,000 mullet. The water's super clear. How are they? Something just chased my lure back. Ooh, a little shark. Wow. Little shark just came right up. I reckon you've nearly seen him on camera then. Good bite, stuffed my lure up. First bite of the camping trip. Not sure what it would have been, came off this stick here. Go back in. All right. Nothing really kicking around here, just a heap of mullet and a couple of sharks. Didn't see any tarpon rolling. Can't really see too much else, so won't waste too much time. We'll pull the electric up and keep going. Alrighty, so we've hit that point where we've had to drop the electric motor down and there's no more outboard from now on. My first campsite is only just around the corner, so the plan is to drop the electric down, fish on my way to the campsite, tick off the first fish for the camping trip, and then tomorrow night we're heading all the way up the top end of the river, basically as far as you can get a canoe or a boat. It's a very special place. It's where Tiwa Creek flows into the river, and it's a very long way up. So my calculations, it's about 15 kilometres and it'll take probably 4 hours on the electric motor, which is a very long way. When you see this place, you'll fully understand it's very special. The top water fishing can be very good. I've got a heap of topwater lures as well as freshwater minnow. So I'm not going to do too much talking. We're losing a fair bit of light now. I'm going to fish, see if I can get the first bass of the trip, and I'm going to be a very happy camper for the first night if we can do that and tick that off. The wind's just dying down. There's a little bit of lightning close by, so I'm going to be very careful of that, but I'm going to get stuck in and hopefully get my first fish. Alrighty, at long last, we've made it to the campsite. I don't know whether you'll be able to see anything. It looks pitch black, but we've got a incredible little sand dune for a campsite. Pure, fresh tannin water, absolutely incredible. I'll give you a little look around. That's it there, campsite 4. Good little beach, good little chill zone. I'll only be doing a little temporary campsite tonight because we are first light, heading out fishing, and trying to get into a few bass and then heading all the way up the top end like I was saying before. So I'm gonna set up my swag, have something to eat. I didn't bring anything to cook with. It's a very, very simple camp. When you're camping out of the skiff, it's almost like kayak camping. You don't want to bring too much. I don't really like cooking on the boat. I've got a like above floor fuel tank, and it kind of gets fumey in the hatches, so I don't want to have open flames on the boat and stuff like that, and then to carry cooking stuff in the boat is just extra stuff. So I've got cold meat, I've got wraps, eating very simple. The only thing that I like about eating super simple when you're camping is when you head home, you really enjoy a home cooked meal. So I'm gonna set up, have something to eat, and probably go to bed pretty early, to be honest. All the rods are fully rigged, didn't lose any lures this Sava. I probably put 15 minutes of casting in, got a couple little taps, and that's about it. So I'm going to set up, and then we're going to have a little chill out. It is drizzling. You can probably see that on film, which sucks when you're setting up camp, but the swag's a pretty dry one. It's a nice little single swag. I'll either set it up on the deck of the boat or I'll set it up on the sand. Sand's not super level, the boat is super level, and then if anything happens, like I need to turn the bilge pump on, I can just unzip it and reach out and tap it. But that's enough talking from me. Next thing you'll see is me going to bed, I think, and we'll come up with a little bit of a game plan. We'll probably fish surface first thing. I've got a few surface lures and stuff like that, and then I'll really want to fish freshwater minnow as the sun sort of starts to get up and the fish move deeper. But that's me. Happy days. All right, good morning. I'd love to say I had a perfect night's sleep. I ended up getting a fair few hours, but we got a lot of rain last night and there was a lot of close lightning. Like the water's probably risen maybe 50 mil or more, which can only be good for the bass fishing. There's going to be a heap of fresh water running off. There's going to be a heap of bugs in the water. I've been up here when this has happened before, and I've had some incredible top water sessions. I could hear bass boofing last night after the rain stopped. So I'm going to tie on a little surface lure to start with. Tidy up the boat. The swag is completely drenched. I had to run the bilge pump probably 4 times, just opening the swag up, going out in the rain, butt naked, and running the bilge pump, and yeah, but that's all right. That's all part of it. Looks like the sun will come out today, so I'll just keep the swag rolled out and put it at the back of the boat and get fishing. I won't do too much talking because we've got first light a long way upriver, where you normally can't get to if you just came up for a little day trip bass fishing. So let's do it. Let's crack an iced coffee and get stuck in. go bait caster first, and we might tie on. They could be quite aggressive this morning, so we'll go for something with a little bit of noise. Chasebaits, Drunken Mullet Junior. This thing will make a fair bit of noise, fair bit of rattle, which is good. And if they don't respond to it, we'll go on to something a little bit more subtle. So we'll put the plastics away for a sec, because when you're up here this early, you really want to make the most of it and throw a surface. And I found the more you annoy these bass, the more likely they are to bite. You can throw little cicadas, which I've got a cicada there. You can throw little cicadas and fish them slow, but you'll have the bass play around with them a lot. It can be a really good thing if they're being a little bit fussy, but I found in the past up here, finding a fish that really wants to feed and covering a bit of water. All we're doing is targeting these little points and bays and casting at everything that looks good. There's so much structure in here. There's heaps of little pockets and heaps of little points. And even if there's no timber, they can still definitely be sitting in them. So cool. Little sandbars in the upper reaches in the freshwater. No love on the surface lure, so I'll chuck the plastic out in this corner. Basically what I'm doing is casting out, letting it hit the bottom, then kind of hopping it out and slow rolling it out, and I'll just vary my retrieve until I find what they kind of want to eat. Feel much better when that first fish is ticked off. Alright, doesn't look like we're going to get rain, so I'm going to take all the wet weather gear off, chuck the clothes back on, and try surface again. Did hear a couple of boofs on this edge as I came around the corner. That's why I wanted to try surface again. Yep. First fish, he's only small. Oh, monkey's off the back though. Nice little native Australian bass. Super dark in colours, these ones. Won't keep me up for too long, we'll get him back. He's only a real small one, but good to see him fire up. Ah, dropped him. Ate it on the drop. Okay, nice little gully there. He's sitting in. Go back in. He might not have felt hooks. Just going to cut it down, just past the eyes, just to make sure these bass aren't being super fussy about what they're eating, size-wise. No, it's not much, but sometimes these things can make a difference with bass. So I'm just nibbling it on the drop then. Good bite. All right, so I've got a few bites in amongst these reeds in the last 5 minutes, so there's a couple of ways you can fish. You can fish surface and power fish and try and find super aggressive fish, which didn't seem to work this morning. The other way is to move painfully slow and work every little nook and cranny, even all the little crevices in these reeds. These reeds, some of them sit out a little bit further, and it's actually, the base is really deep, so the fish can sit in and around them. There's some that are hard up against the bank, but some of these reed stacks, the fish definitely hold in and around the fingers of the reeds. And it's normally a really good soft plastics bite when they're doing that. So we'll try and focus on that, and hopefully we can start converting a few of these bites. Yep, there's one. Oh, it feels like a good one. Oh, yeah. Oh, nice bass. We can get this guy on the boat. That's freshwater minnow ticked off. Yes, little upgrade from the last one. Still not a massive fish, but that's 3 bites in the space of probably 15 minutes or something like that, and converted him. Very, very nice little fish. Like I was saying before, this population of bass isn't the biggest. They do get big in here, and that's the goal. The goal is to get a big one. But these fish are just so healthy and they fight so hard for their size, and I feel like it's a true specimen of an Australian bass. You know, you can go into the dams and get big ones, but when you catch them in a natural system like this, in deep tannin water in the reeds, it doesn't get much better than that. Yep, that was a good bite. Oh, stay on. Stay on. Yeah, nice little fish. Oh, a little bit better again, maybe. Very nice little fish. He's probably a touch better. Definitely found the pattern. Like I said before, each time I've come up here over the last 15 years, they're always doing something different. He is a very healthy little fish. I love the dark colorations they get when they sit in this deep, dark red tannin water. Such a pretty little fish. And that's freshwater minnow getting the job done on the little razor edge 1/16 ounce 1/0 jig head. Yep, that was a good bite. Oh, that's a better fish. Oh, first one to pull string. Oh, feels like a good fish. Oh yeah, he's better. Oh yes, good fish. That's a really nice fish for up here. He just came off that steep bank. Let it sink down. I let it sink down. I think it was just did one or two small little hops. So far, that is fish of the trip. They will get bigger, but he's pushing up towards 40 centimetres, and that's a pretty good fish for up here. Very, very well built like the other ones. Proper native Australian bass. Love him in this tannin water. Look at the colours on him. Unreal. Freshwater minnow, getting the job done. All right, so we've definitely cracked that pattern. And what we have to do, we have to sit close to the shoreline than I was. but not so close that I can't get into all the gullies. So I need to put in a little bit of a distance with the cast to get it further away from the boat, because I feel like the electric motor in this sort of system would be spooking me if you got too close. So a little bit out from the bank, casting hard up against it, letting it sit down, hopping it twice, and then slow rolling it back. And what that does is sometimes there's a little secondary drop off here. So you hop it down that secondary drop off and then you roll it back. But most of them have been eating it on the drop. They're sitting pretty close into structure. So we'll just continue that and hopefully put some more on the deck. But I've been fishing, it's 9 o'clock now. I've been fishing since 5. First couple of hours only got that one little topwater fish, and in the last 2 hours I've landed 4 or 5. So it's all happy days there. Figured out a little pattern and we'll just keep sticking to it. They seem to be sitting on these sort of deeper, reedier edges, and just got to work, like I said before, painfully slow. I don't want to power fish and try and fish the plastic too fast, because they are eating it on the drop. Oh, yep, there's one. He doesn't feel as big. Nice. He came off that same snag actually. There might be a little school there. Nice little fish. He's bleeding a little bit, so I'm going to get him straight back and keep going. That was off the same. That was actually off the same snag that other bass was on, so there might be a little school there. Let's cast back in there. See if there actually is. Never really caught them schooled up in here, which is funny, but they'll definitely do it. Normally you're catching the one territorial fish off the snag. Great looking edge, this one. We've got some of the deeper reeds that are coming out, heaps of overhang. A little bit of timber you can't see, bumping over it every now and then. Most of the bass you get up here I feel are territorial. I don't feel like they really school up. Could be wrong, and I'm assuming they'll school up when they head to the brackish to breed in winter. And then, as far as I understand with what they do, after they breed in winter, they head up as far as they can in summer and then do the whole process again. And then as it gets to winter, they push back out. I've worked off that theory fishing here for the last 10, 15 years. In summer you push all the way up and you normally have a pretty good time. It's time for a new minnow. I'll go full length on this one. And then if the nose rips out or anything like that, or I stop getting bites, I'll chop him down a little bit. But I really only chopped probably 10 mil off him. Don't know whether it's what was making the difference. I don't feel like it would be, but we'll see. One funny thing I've always found with the bass in here is they don't sit on the big snags. If you have like a giant gum tree laying in the water, very, very rarely caught bass off them. Normally find these little reed pockets and little reed points where there's a little bit of timber sticking out, just a very small timber. That generally is what I've always got good numbers and good size bass on. You'd think there'd be heaps on those massive laydowns that come halfway out in the river. But unless I'm fishing them wrong, never really done that well off them. Sometimes I've had trips where they only sit on paperbark trees, which is super random. You nearly need to just power fish all the paperbark trees, otherwise you just don't get bites. Yep, there's one. Oh, that's a good fish. He's moved out. He's gone out to deeper water, which that normally means big fish here. Oh man. Oh, he's going to be a big fish. Fish of the trip so far. Nice bass. Came off that little deeper reed edge. The net's all tangled up with the esky, so I'm gonna have to pole him in. Oh, he's a good fish. Wow. Wow. Little bit of timber, reeds sitting out a little bit deeper, and that's what they seem to be sitting on today. I've worked out the pattern, starting to put a few numbers on the board. Now that's some better fish. He would easily be 40, that fish. Oh, there he is. Nice 40+ centimetre native Everglades bass. Look at the colours on him. Look at the size on him. What a cool fish. I'm very, very happy with that. And get into a few more. This is starting to turn into a good session. I was a little bit worried there. The first couple of hours is normally the best fishing, but we've worked him out now, and let's get a few numbers on the board. Thing I've noticed with this place, fishing over the years, is that soft plastics will catch you your bigger fish. You can run spinnerbaits and stuff like that, little jerk baits, and you catch fish, you just don't tend to get the size, and I don't know what it is. I don't know whether you just miss the smaller pecks with a bigger single hook of a soft plastic, and you just hook up to more smaller ones with the other ones, but yeah, I don't know. I always seem to get those bigger models in here on soft plastics, or on surface, early morning, late arvo. You can definitely get big ones on surface, but when they're sitting a bit deeper and it's this sort of bite, you could throw a spinnerbait, but it just feels like a little bit too much for these native fish. You know, the water's not super deep, and I find this finesse approach catches you the fish and gets you the bigger ones. I've done well on jerkbaits in the past. Small trebles definitely help pin those fish, but like I said, smaller class of fish. So we'll keep persisting in this rain. It's not cold, which is good. It's raining, but I don't really need a rain jacket. Like, I'm wet through already, and it's not cold at all. I'm gonna have to make a decision soon whether I call it quits or keep going. I'm worried I'm gonna kill my mic. The mic receiver that sits on top of the GoPro isn't waterproof, and all this gear is very, very expensive. It's not a cheap thing, getting all the cameras to film these videos, and you know, like the Sony's not waterproof either, so I won't be able to use that as much as I want to. I could always call it quits and do the second night another time when the rain eases off. I was just really hoping this drizzle would just calm down, but if anything, it's kind of just set in. They changed the forecast just before I left. There's meant to be a lot of rain today, and I was hoping that they got the forecast wrong, but I don't know now. I think they got it spot on. I'll throw a little bit of surface out and see what happens. Oh, good hit. Oi. Oh, yep. Ah, dropped him. Swipe. Oh, big fish. Yep. Little one. Yep. Yep. Good bite. Nice fish. Yes. Nice fish. That rain has well and truly set in, and it's been a little bit quiet. It's been a little bit quiet for the last hour. Got that one real small one, and then this fella. This is probably the average size we get up here. Smacked that plastic on the drop, and went hard. All right, so I think that's trip done. The rain has definitely set in. We've already had probably 20-25 mil, and that's not including the flooding rain we got last night, early this morning. So plan is pack up the boat, chuck the wet weather gear on, cruise home, and come back and do the second night next weekend or during the week, whenever the forecast is looking a little bit better, because I really want to get up to that top end and show you where the river starts and where Tiwa Creek flows in. It's a cool place, but the fishing can also be exceptional. It can be really good top water, and you can get really good numbers of fish. But I think that's it for me. I'm freezing, I'm soaked, and camera gear's all super wet. So I've got a couple of hours to get back, and next time you see me, we'll be packing for the next night, and we'll be shooting all the way up to the top end of the river and showing you how cool this place actually is. These headwaters stretch over 60 kilometres, and it's all national park. So very, very special place, but it's starting to rain a little bit heavier now. So I'm gonna go, pack up and head off. All right, and just like that, we're back up here. It's a week later, and the weather has turned incredible. Couldn't be any different to what it was last weekend. We've got clear skies, no rain forecast, no wind this afternoon. It's completely dropped out. We're meant to have no wind tomorrow morning, and the game plan has not changed. We're heading up to the top end this afternoon. I'm gonna be getting there in the dark, because I know what I'm like. I'm gonna keep fishing and try and get my first fish for this weekend. But I don't like my chances of getting up there with any light. I've still got a lot of water to cover. So hopefully get into a fish this afternoon, but if not, we're gonna get stuck in them tomorrow morning. Got freshwater minnow tied on, got all the rods rigged up. What an incredible arvo. Let's get stuck in. That was a long journey. I got on the electric about 6:30 and it is now 9:30. 3 hours traveling on the electric, about 2 hours of it was complete darkness, but we are here now. I'm gonna roll out the swag and try and get some sleep and hit it very, very early tomorrow. Let's do it. All right, good morning. That was the polar opposite from last weekend. I slept incredibly well last night compared to that wet swag. We've got this nice little sunrise coming over the upper reaches here, and yeah, what an incredible place to wake up. So the game plan is as follows. We're going to tie on a surface lure, we're going to smack into a few bass, and as the sun gets up, we're going to go back to freshwater minnow. But just going to enjoy this little sunrise while I pack up the swag, get the boat tidied up, and then we'll get into a few fish. Yep, I just heard one boof then, so I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get stuck in.
first cast of the morning. Oh, boil on already. Fished all yesterday afternoon, power fished on the way up here. Barely seen a boil in first cast. Big boil. So what we've got is the Upper Noosa River. It keeps going up here and it gets very loggy. I've taken the kayak up there around the corner and you can't get that much further. And then you've got Tiwa Creek that flows in from the beach up here, or from the sand dunes on the back end of the beach. Oh, straight away. Yep, first cast into Tiwa Creek. Well, that's him there. First fish of the morning. Didn't take long at all. What an incredible little fish. Yep. Beautiful little bass. That's a little lure doing it for us at the moment. Little Nomad Maverick. Yep. Oh, yep. It's one of those ones that's starting to get a little bit green in colour. Incredible little fish. That section that I was just fishing then was fishing so well. I might even do another pass with it with a different lure. It just feels like there's a ton of bass. Everywhere I was casting with a surf lure, there was a bass coming up. So I'm just going to do one more pass, I reckon, with the soft plastic. Give it 10 minutes anyway. I'm not going to really miss out on anything trying. Yep. Oh, yeah, feels like good fish. Nice fish. Oh, yes. That was worth coming back and doing that little drift with the plastic. Oh, there he is there, biggest bass of the morning. What an incredible fish. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And then location-wise, incredible. Very, very, very happy with him. Didn't he go hard? What a cool little fish. Getting back and keep going. Starting to rack the numbers up now. Might throw, we're heading into a new little section now that I didn't fish this morning. So I might throw surface back on. Oh, we are absolutely racking them up now. Cool little fish. Oh, good boil. Yep. Oh, I missed him. Yep, got him again. Beautiful fish. Get him back. Looks like this little log jam is going to be as far as I'll get. But I'll push the boat up to it and I'll fish past it. Then we'll turn around and go to some unfished water. I'm going to chuck on the little mullet from Chasebaits. Great little top water lure, good hooks on it. So if I do hook one of these bigger bass, I should be able to stay connected. I feel like I might have lost a couple of those bigger fish from those tiny trebles on that Maverick. But the Maverick just gets eaten. Very subtle little top water lure. But I've got a few numbers now, so the name of the game now is to get a good one. Oh, yep. Good bite. on the Chasebaits. Nice fish. How cool is that? Oh, big boil. Oh, yep. Yep. Good fish. Oh, this one's got a tag by the look of it. That's pretty cool. Get him in. Caught a few tagged ones up here before. I can hear some really hectic wind coming, and it wasn't forecast at all. It was meant to be full glass out basically all day. Oh. Please don't rain. And it's raining. All right, big camera's going away. This is not forecast. I could hear it coming from ages away. Yep. Look at this. Oh, that did a backflip. Holy, I've never seen one come out of the water like that. Oh, yep. Oh, I missed him. Good eight. Oh, good eight. Yep. I don't know how clear this audio is going to be because the mic's drenched. But as you're seeing, that rain came over, but it's not just rain, it's actually a really hectic lightning storm. It's only 7:30 in the morning and this is not forecast at all. And hearing a little bit of thunder and stuff like that, I wasn't too worried, but there's a few lightning bolts coming down, and I was still fishing, and one literally hit maybe 500 meters away. So even though the fishing's really good, it's not worth getting hit by bloody lightning. So I'm just hanging out on the shoreline here. I just picked a spot where I'm not underneath any big trees, but I'm not the highest point. It's always funny to know what exactly to do when there's lightning in a boat, but I think hugging the shore and not hanging underneath any massive gum trees is the ticket. You just don't want to be the lowest lying point, the highest laying point. You want to be the lowest lying point. So I'm just going to wait for this to cruise over. The rain's calmed down, the wind's calmed down, so I'm assuming it's moving away. But the fishing's been incredible since the rain. Oh, it's been incredible all morning, but that topwater bite, when it started raining, it just went off, and I was just power fishing that little Chasebaits mullet. I don't know whether the lightning's coming through on audio, but it feels like it's shaking the ground. It's close, and there feels like it's a powerful system. There's a little creek over here that I've never actually fished, and I really want to go up and have a look, because those two little headwater streams were fishing so well this morning. I've never caught that many fish up there like that. The fish have pushed right up, so they might even be up this little creek here. So let's just hang out for a bit and see if this lightning's gonna
go away. As long as it's moving away, then I'll be happy. And I'll just be careful, my rods are laying down, and I'll stick close to the shore. But yeah, just gonna hang out for a sec, because no point in doing anything silly for a fish. All right, so it feels like that lightning is heading away. I can still hear it, but it's getting further away. So I'm still gonna be careful. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sneak up this little creek and see if there's any bass up there. Still got the surface lure on. I'll fish surface if they keep eating surface. Still caught the biggest fish of this trip on the on freshwater minnow, so I know it's working. I'm very, very happy with how it looks in the water. But while the bass are eating surface, as I say that, the lightning's going away, just flashed there. I'm just going to count. Yeah, it's like 5 k's away. Feels like it is heading away though, which is good. Normally the creeks and the tributaries don't fish as well as the main section, but this morning it's got me definitely thinking they come up here at certain times of the year. Yep. Oh, what the hell? Is that a little barra? He jumped. Is that a little barra? No, it's a massive bass. What a great fish. He is solid as. That's a really, really well built native Australian bass. Have a look at him. Look at the colours on him too. I used to do a lot of this style of fishing when I cut my teeth lure fishing and started fishing out of a kayak and stuff like that. But man, I didn't realise how much I missed this. Having the sounders turned off and just pitching into snags, waiting for that bite. Absolutely incredible. Happy days. So it feels, alright, so it felt like that lightning and that storm was moving away. And I just pushed up that little creek, caught that nice bass, and a bolt of lightning literally hit within a kilometre, and it was full on. So I'm sitting low in the boat, just pulled up against some reeds again. Not underneath a big tree or anything like that, but I feel like I'm in a little bit lower lying area now. Yeah, so I'm just going to hang out again. I don't want to be waving a rod around when there's that much potential in the sky. That one made solid contact, and it made me jump, to be honest. There's another one there. How far away is that? Not sure if that made contact or not. But yeah, we're just going to hang out. No rush. We got all day to get back. Yeah, that bolt was further away then, which is good. Yeah. Just going to hang out for a bit. And the hard thing is, the fishing's incredible. The fishing's really good. I've actually never had the fishing so good up here. But you know, again, it's not worth risking. It's just not worth risking it. So I'll wait. Even if I have to wait an hour, it's not going to change anything. If I catch 10 less fish, so be it. I'm really happy with the numbers I've got and the size of the fish I've got so far. You always want to catch a bigger fish or you want to catch more, but yeah, I'll just hang out, no rush. Oh yeah. Oi. Oi. Yep. Freshwater minnow. Job done. Yep. Yep. Oh, that's a better fish. Eat it. Yep, that's a better fish. Oh, stay on. Oh yeah, big fish. Yep. Nice fish. I think that's going to do it for us with the fishing. It is now 11 o'clock on the dot, and we need to start making some ground. Such a cool place to catch a fish, and such a cool place to spend a couple of nights. But I might do a little bit more fishing. I'm going to just try and make some ground. It's 11 o'clock now, so very, very happy days. Let's pack these rods up. Let's get the boat tidied up and start scooting back. Alright, so I just pulled up for a little swim. We're about halfway home. Just around the corner I can start the outboard, which would be nice. Just in the water here, I was just thinking, you know, it's been a very long time since I've had this much fun fishing, and you know, it's not the fish. You know, the biggest fish I got was 42 centimetres, something like that, and it's a lot of things. You know, it's the place. It's, you know, it's the fact it's all national park and they're native bass. There's no dams or weirs on this place. You know, the bass has been coming up here and doing their thing since they've existed, and it's having the sounders off and just pitching into snags and doing things that I used to really enjoy when I got into fishing. And it's also having no phone reception. There's no distractions. It's allowed my brain to get bored, which growing up, you know, you think of boredom as this really bad thing. And, you know, as I'm starting to get older and starting to grow, I realise that being bored is so important. You know, it allows your brain time to relax and allows it to process things. And
things that have happened and things that are happening, and you know, in recent years, I feel like I haven't allowed myself to have enough downtime, you know, and being up here, just allowing the weight of responsibilities, you know, running a business and being a dad, and it's just been very, very relaxing, very good for the brain, very good for the mind, and yeah, it's just nice and quiet.